Hello, good day everyone. My name is Riza Faith Angolorio, and now together with my group mates Miss Ina Cagas, Miss Joyce Ann Orain, and Mr. Vincent Ray Tambis, we are going to discuss about the Module 5, Efficiency and Innovation, Green Growth and Rebound. So now let us first read the learning objectives. At the end of the lesson, the students will be able to A. Define what is efficiency and innovation, green growth and rebound. B. Explain how these concepts are relevant to sustainability. And C. Understand the importance of these concepts to attain sustainable development through integrating them in a brief role-play performance. So before anything else, let us first take or have an icebreaker or a motivational activity. So the title of our motivational activity is Connect Me If I'm Wrong. So here are the mechanics. Each slide displays pictures. The students' aim is to connect the pictures to form words. Ask someone from the class to guess the words, and to answer the questions, students must open their microphone and state their family names to be recognized by the reporter. So since our topic for today is only conducted through a pre-recorded discussion, we cannot do this nga na ay interaction dyan. So for you to answer, if you want to, just answer it danha sa inyong mga panimalay or kung asa man mo ron. So here is the first set of pictures. Oh yes. So para ninyo unsa man ni. So yes, the answer is efficiency, because na resources and naada ni sa pikas ang kanang tao nga ganahuna kung saan niya pag-achieve ang iyang goals with unlimited resources. Kani innovation. Why? Because naada ni sa pikas kaning murag na por mga pencil dyan na ay branches nga mga kuan gi-exhibit da na ang ideas, ang mga strategies or mga behaviors sad mga methods nga gi-take sa mga people nga naa dinhi speakers nga kanang picture para ang ilang idea nga maka-innovate sila ma-materialize. And then how about this? Green economy. So masabtan naman sa dyan, no? And then this sustainable transport, and this na color green and na ay duha ka bata nga kanang murag nag-measure sila sa ilang height. So green growth, and then World Bank, and then rebound effect, and direct. So very good. So let's start. Efficiency. The term efficiency refers to the highest level of performance that uses the least amount of inputs to achieve the highest amount of output. So efficiency requires reducing the number of unnecessary resources used to produce a given output, including personal time and energy. It minimizes the waste of resources such as physical materials, energy, and time while accomplishing the desired output. So to explain it in simple words, it is the ability to achieve an end goal with little to no waste, effort, or energy, or bisag unsa nga resources. So being efficient means that you can achieve your results by putting the resources you have in the best way possible. So it is doing things to achieve an output nga massive or productive outputs through utilizing your limited or scarce resources in a best way possible. So to put simply, something is efficient if nothing is wasted and all processes are optimized. This includes the use of money, human capital, production equipment, and energy resources. So efficiencies can be divided into many different categories. So first, economic efficiency. This refers to the optimization of resources to best serve each person in that economic state, a state where every resource is allocated optimally so that each person is served in the best possible way. And inefficiency and waste are minimized. So here are the factors that describe the term economic efficiency. First is that production of goods is at its lowest cost. Second, one person cannot be helped by means of reallocating the goods without making another person worse off. And third, indicating that there has been a balance between loss and benefit. So, para mas masabtan dyan nato, ang economic efficiency, ang social value is optimized. So, economic efficiency is present if in a certain situation or in a certain situation, social value is optimized. So, for example, first example, imagine if there are 12 slices of pizza to be shared by a family of 5. So the 3 members only have 2 slices each, while the other 2 members have 3 slices each. So this shows that there is an absence of economic efficiency since the allocation or the distribution of resources is not balanced. So another example is, suppose a clothing factory has several machines to help sew the clothing. So the machines can produce enough clothing that when sold could result in $100, $75, and $50. So in this example, the most efficient option is the one that results in $100. Anything less than $100 is considered an inefficient use of machines. So kinahanglan dyan ma-maximize pag-utilize ang limited resources. Dili siya masayang. Little to no waste. And second is market efficiency. This describes how well prices integrate available information. So this means that markets are efficient when all information is already incorporated into prices. So ma-justify ang prices because the information is being translated or kanang naay transparency of information. Market prices reflect all available relevant information. If markets are efficient, then all information is already incorporated into prices, and so there is no way to beat the market because there are no undervalued or overvalued securities available. So market efficiency is when the market price is unbiased of the true value of the investment. So naay balance ang market price ug ang investment. So an example is when there is an increase of price of pork in the market, pork products, the market efficiency is present if there is transparency of information that explains the reasons why pork meats and products are having a price hike. So for an instance, the reason is because there is an existing African swine fever that has been harming the health or even causing death to the animals, especially the pigs. So with this, there will be no way for the consumers or even the other sectors of economy to beat the market or to question the market about sa price hike, since there are no undervalued or overvalued securities available. So Na clear ba nato? Next is operational efficiency. This measures how well profits are earned as a function of operating costs. Operating costs refers to the ongoing expenses incurred from the normal day-to-day of running a business. So operating costs can be found and analyzed by looking at a company's income statement. So the greater the operational efficiency, the more profitable the firm or investment. Operational efficiency measures the proportion of costs incurred during an economic or financial activity where lower costs equate with greater efficiency. So an example of this is when a food business that is offering a catering service keeps track of their daily expenses as they run their business so that they can analyze the condition or progress of their business and generate or integrate new strategies that can help their business flourish. So, na ay detailed record sa operations nga nahitabo sa ilang business so that makatabang pod nila katong ilang mga gi-keep nga records para maka-generate sila ang mga new strategies, mga new approaches to help their business improve. So, yes. Another example is when a supermarket employs a variety of internal procedures, such as those for production, recruiting, sales, and communications, and each of those procedures aids in the company's achievement of goals. So, makita nato nga katong production, recruiting, sales, and communications, mga operations na siya nasa sud sa supermarket. So, naay detailed records dan ha. And each of these procedures, when kept on track, aids in the company's achievement of a goal, which may be measured in terms of product sales. So, the next is the resource efficiency. It is a key approach to decoupling economic growth from environmental degradation while enhancing human well-being. It stimulates innovation, the creation of new industries, and boosts economic competitiveness. So resource efficiency means using Earth's limited resources in a sustainable manner while minimizing the impacts, especially the negative impacts on the environment. So resource efficiency includes, for example, remanufacturing, repair, maintenance, recycling, and eco-design. Ultimately, it is good not only for the environment but also for the economy. Resource efficiency is both a requirement and an opportunity for sustained economic prosperity in G20 countries. So, the G20 countries are the dynamic group of leading economies with a diverse set of visions and approaches for sustainable development, and member states all over the world. So, kaning G20, nasa like collective impact. So, ang collective impact danhin na group of countries is that they could drive large-scale transformation in a direction that can lead us to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. Specifically, katong the 17 SDGs that has been established by the UN. So, masabtan ra ba ang resource efficiency? Basta ang simple na meaning or ang simple na explanation anhing resource efficiency is utilizing the natural world's limited resources or the Earth's limited resources in a sustainable manner. So, efficient manner na even though we are using these resources, these limited resources, ma-minimize gihapon nato, or di ba, kung possible, dili jud ta maka-impact negatively to the environment. So pero makakuan ta nga impossible, di ba, nga dili ta maka-impact ag negative kay kasagaran ng hunahunaan sa mga kadagkuan ng mga prevalent na mga organizations, kuan dyan na adjay negative impact sa environment. So proceed na ta sa innovation. The word innovation is derived from the Latin verb innovare, which means to renew. Innovation means to improve or replace something. For example, a process, a product, or a service. It is a process by which a domain, product, or service is renewed and brought up to date by applying new processes, introducing new techniques, or establishing successful ideas to create new value. So, innovation, to put it simply, innovation is a process by which the people are generating ideas para ang usa ka process, ang usa ka product, or ang service, or approaches ba na, or methods, strategies nga na ma-brought siya up to date. Dili lang magpabilin na stagnant, or dili lang magpabilin nga karaan. So this is to introduce new or advanced technologies. So organizations have several options to increase their competitiveness. So they can strive for price leadership or develop a strategy or differentiation. In both cases, innovation is essential para ang usa ka organization makabuild sila ag ilang competence. So the right mindset for innovation. Innovation requires more creativity and more willingness to take risks than the implementation of typical projects. Mga typical projects like kanang nagsettle ra sila sa kung unsa ang status quo. And to successfully realize innovation projects, a different mindset is needed. So here are the right mindsets for innovation. First is to break the rules. Challenge the status quo consistently and explore new paths off the beaten track. With traditional approaches, the conventional methods, you will often not get anywhere in the field of innovation. So, kung magsettle ra ka sa paggamit sa traditional approaches without even integrating kanang new ideas, new technologies, nagsettle ra ka sa kung unsa pod ang gi-provide sa society danha nga period of time, you will never get anywhere. Dili ka imo man kaugalingon mismo ang imong gi-deprive para maka-experience ka ag new technologies or ang innovation, itong mga technologies that are brought up to date. Or maybe ikaw mismo imong gi-deprive nga maka-generate kag ideas nga pwede maka-enable ag innovation, di ba? You need to break the rules. For example, sa una, ang cellphones, di ba, keypad na to. And then na ay mga tao, like mga scientists nga gusto nila nga i-incorporate ang ubang mga functions like calculator, mga flashlight, mga pag-capture ag photos, or bisag unsa pa na nga functions, ilang i-incorporate sa cellphone, and then hantod nga na kuan nila nga mahimo ng touch screen nga na. So they broke the rules of traditional mga approaches. That is why they've created continuous innovation kay hangtod karon na agihapon na continuous ang innovation na ilang na-create. So, second is to collect ideas everywhere. So, unsaon man nato pag-innovate if we are if we are only settling sa mga ideas nga traditional, mga ideas nga murag gisud bitaw sa box. So, kinahanglan mag-think ta out of the box, diba? Innovation projects constantly need new ideas to overcome obstacles, change concepts, and optimize strategies. So, for example, danhi is kanang gihimo bitaw sa mga graduating students or bisan sa mga dili graduating students sa mga gusto rag research kanang research studies nga ilang gihimo. They collect ideas everywhere so that makahibaw sila kung unsa ang needs sa society or kung unsa ang issues nga kinahanglan resolbahan, and with that kung maka-gather na silang data or mag-gather na silang mga information, maka-generate sila of possible or probable solutions for para sila they will be able to solve those problems, diba? Or to kanang develop or improve something that is good na naa na sa society. So, third is to believe in the impossible. Imagine how your innovation will look like in reality. Believe that you will be able to overcome all obstacles on the way to realization. So, masabtan naman na nato. Daghan na tagmuhuna-hunaan na mga situations or mga historical events sa labi na sa science, sa development sa science and technology, diba? Sa world history ramandaan daghan ng mga examples na ang mga tao ni believe in the impossible, even katong sa una pa jud kadyo katong mga Homo erectus nga imposible kadyo para nila sa una to create fire, but then they still tried ilang gitry na unsa ba to mag create og friction sa duha ka rocks or nag-discover lang dyan sila ba, and then hantod na ang imposible nga ilang gi-visualize na materialize na realize na. So fourth is to put together an innovation team of individuals with different perspectives and thinking styles. Innovation needs the diversity of various competencies and diverse way of thinking. So, syempre, for us to innovate, dapat daghan jud tag idea sa usa ka grupo, kung maghimong maganit tag grupo nga ang goal is to innovate. Syempre ang mga ideas man jud na kay dili ra man jud mag-settle for less, dili ra mag-settle sa kung unsa ang status quo, kay asa may innovation na mabuhat kung status quo ra taman, di ba? Mura ra gihapon kay nag-maintain ra man ta sa kung unsa ra ang atong naandan, na nag-maintain ra man ta sa atong estado sa pagka-stagnant, di ba? So we need to be open to diverse competencies, intelligences, and diverse opinions, ideas, diba? So the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development puts forward a broad and ambitious agenda for global action of sustainable development. So the scale and ambition of sustainable development goals require innovation in development. Innovation understood as a new forms of social practice and organization, as well as a new or improved technological products and processes, is not only an explicit focus of Goal 9, which is to build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation, but also a key enabler of most, if not all, of the goals. Syempre, in achieving all the goals sa 17 SDGs, kinahanglan jud na maka-create tag development. So how can we create development if dili na to ma-apply ang innovation and maski katong efficiency, di ba? So for example, science, technology, and innovation will play an essential role in achieving goal 2, the end hunger, achieve food security, and improve nutrition, and promote sustainable agriculture. Innovation is needed, especially in generating new means or techniques of sustainable agriculture, labi na sa urban areas. Like karon na ano yung mga nanay mga ni rice nga mga bag-ong system or techniques of agriculture, sustainable agriculture, labi na sa urban areas, like the vertical agriculture, diba? Tungod kay gamay ra ang space nga naa sa cities, and then na ay mga tao nga gusto nga mag-grow ag ilang own plants para sila pud mismo maka-harvest, and one way pud nila na nga nahuna-hunaan para maka-avoid bitaw sila sa kanang mga vegetables, mga fruits nga kanang giproduce siya nga kargado na ag mga medisina nga makadaot sad. So nagamit sila vertical agriculture. So syempre kinahanglan nag intensive research and mag-invest jud kada na sa imong energy, imong time nga na. With that, sustainable agriculture will be achieved. Nga maupay makaingan nga nung ma-end ang hunger and ma-achieve ang food security and improve nutrition. Harnessing the positive potential for innovation to address the 17 SDGs or the 17 Sustainable Development Goals will also mean recognizing that some forms of contemporary innovation could also contribute to environmental degradation. So, nasabtan sa nato nga kung naay mga tao or if there are organizations nga nag-desire to innovate, makahuna-huna sa tanga na-adjud pa yung mga innovations na makreate na maka-degrade or maka-cause ag harm sa environment. So, maka-disrupt pod ag livelihoods and exacerbate or worsen inequalities. So the key questions concerned not how to encourage more innovation in more places, but which kinds of innovation need to be encouraged, while at the same time discouraging harmful innovation. So, ang kinahanglan din hibuhaton is that kita nga mga part pod sa pag-achieve sa sustainable development goals, mahimutang part sa pag-encourage sa kanang mga appropriate and kanang proper kinds of innovation bitaw that could counter or discourage the harmful innovations nga ma-create. So, in the Philippines, the Global Innovation Index ranked the Philippines as the 50th most innovative economy in 2020, up from the 100th in 2014. So among the world's lower middle income economies, the Philippines ranks 4 behind Vietnam, Ukraine, and India, with above average performance in business sophistication, knowledge, and technology outputs. But innovations promise to deliver superior economic performance, and development outcomes remains elusive. So the Philippines seems perennially stuck in the middle income trap, facing some of the worst poverty and inequality in the region. The Department of Trade and Industry's Regional Inclusive Innovation Centers, the Department of Science and Technology's Science for Change programs aim to supply innovation system components such as public R&D organizations, fab labs, incubators, and funding organizations. So the Science, Technology, Research, and Innovation for Development, or STRIDE, is a project, a 5-year, 32 US dollars million initiative of the US or the United States Agency for International Development, designed to spur inclusive economic growth in the Philippines by boosting science and technology research. Implemented by RTI International, the STRIDE project works closely with Philippine academic institutions and industries to transform their capacity to produce research. University graduates with industry-relevant skills and training and innovative partnerships to accelerate development in the country. STRIDE is achieving these goals through improved higher education curriculum in response to the industry and the job market needs, improved qualifications of faculty and staff in higher education institutions engaged in relevant science, technology, and innovation (STI) disciplines, improved research capacity in critical STI disciplines, strengthened linkages between universities and industry in high-growth economic sectors, and strengthen policy and management capacity of higher education institutions in improving the STI ecosystem. So, danha ra ko taman, the green growth will be discussed by Miss Joyce and Orain.
So next, green growth. So what comes into your mind when you hear about green growth or green growth? So green growth is a strategy for achieving sustainable development that combines economic growth and environmental protection. So the green growth is that it's a combination of economic growth, or it is by growing our economy, and environmental protection, or by protecting our environment. So building a green economy in which investment in resource savings as well as sustainable management of natural capital are drivers of growth. So, an economy which is in closer alignment with sustainable development objectives provides opportunities for using financial resources better to meet development needs and reducing the vulnerability of socioeconomic systems to environmental change and resource constraints. So the UNEP estimates that an investment of 2% of global GDP annually could be enough to significantly change the economic outlook and risk related to resource scarcity and climate change. So, the promise of a green economy is a key aspect of the search for a better quality of growth. So, in developing countries of Asia and the Pacific, the prescribed investments will require a significant change in the economic incentives and infrastructure that influence the way that both natural and human capital are valued and used in the economy. Without such changes, investments and the scale needed to put economies on a green growth path are unlikely to take places. So the next is, that there are at least 13 separate definitions for green growth that have been recently identified in publications, including those from important international actors engaged in the field. So, first one is the UNISCAP. So, in UNISCAP, growth that emphasizes environmentally sustainable economic progress to foster low carbon, socially inclusive development. So, here in this definition, it emphasizes the growth in environmentally that enables to be sustainable in economic progress and to be able to foster a low carbon and in a socially one to be inclusive in development. So the next one is the OECD. So in this definition is that it promotes economic growth and development while protecting natural resources and environmental services. So here, it fosters the economic growth and development. At the same time, it ensures that natural assets continue to provide the resources and environmental services on which our well-being relies. So that's the definition on OECD. So the next one is the World Bank. So in World Bank definition, the green growth promotes growth that is efficient, clean, resilient, and accounts for natural hazard. So here, it defines that growth is efficient in its use of natural resources, and it is clean in that it minimizes pollution and environmental impacts, and resilient in that it accounts for natural hazards and the role of environmental management and natural capital in preventing physical disasters. So in the next one is the GGGI. The definition here is it states that green growth is a new development paradigm that focuses on addressing the root causes of climate and environmental challenges while creating channels for resource distribution and access to basic commodities for the impoverished. So, in your idea or in your own understanding and the definition of GGGI, can someone think on what did she or he understand on this meaning in your own baseline? What did you understand and the definition and the GGGI about the green growth? Yes. So if you think that that is right, then that is right. So in GGGI, green growth is the new revolutionary development paradigm that sustains economic growth while at the same time it ensures climatic and environmental sustainability. So here it focuses on addressing the root causes of these challenges while ensuring the creation of the necessary or the important channels for resource distribution and access to basic commodities for the impoverished. So I know you all know this simple definition because it is all talks about the green growth. So next is that I have this question. Um, what is green growth and how can it help deliver sustainable development? So there in your own pace, can you think what is a green growth and how can it help deliver sustainable development? Okay, I will give you 10 seconds. Yes, time's up. So if you think that green growth is a not a replacement for sustainable development, then that is right. So green growth and how it can help deliver sustainable development. So, green growth is a practical and flexible approach for achieving measurable progress across economic and environmental pillars, while taking into account the social consequences of greening the growth dynamic of economies. It focuses on ensuring that natural assets can deliver their full economic potential on sustainable basis, such as clean air and water and resilient biodiversity. So in in what we've understand to this statement is that green growth is not a replacement for sustainable development. Rather, it provides a practical and flexible approach for achieving a concrete, measurable progress across its economic and environmental pillars. So, as it the natural assets can deliver their full economic potential on sustainable basis. That potential includes the provision of critical life support services, the clean air and water, and the resilient biodiversity needed to support food production and human health. So, natural assets are not infinitely substitutable in green growth policies take account of that. So that is how it can deliver, that is how green growth can help deliver sustainable development. And let's remember that green growth is not a replacement to the sustainable development. So the next one is another question is, what does green growth aim to achieve? So, in your own face again, think something about what does green growth aim to achieve. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. So now, does it aim to achieve? So, green growth policies are essential for fostering strong, sustainable, and inclusive growth by first open up new markets by stimulating demand for green goods, services, and technologies. So, in our own understanding, or in what we understand, is that it aims to achieve that they aims to open up a new market so that they can be able to demand for green goods, services, and technologies. So the second one is the green taxes and subsidies can help reduce poverty by mobilizing revenues and freeing up resources for anti-poverty programs. So a subsidies that can help us students or the poor or the unfortunate to be able to be rise up again, and that is the green growth aims to achieve. So the third one is reducing risk of negative shocks to growth due to resource bottlenecks as well as damaging and potentially irreversible environment impacts. So next, the fourth one is that it also enhancing productivity by creating incentives for greater efficiency, reducing waste and energy consumption, unlocking opportunities for innovation and value creation, and allocating resources to the highest value use. So, in the first statement that it enhanced the productivity so that um, we will be able to achieve this aim and through creating incentives for greater efficiency, then by reducing waste and energy consumption, then by unlocking opportunities because there are lots of opportunities right now in 21st century for the machines, the new technologies, the innovations, and value creations. And the last one is the allocating the resources to the highest value used. So the fifth one is the government can improve investor confidence by providing predictability in how they deal with environmental issues. So this green growth aims also to improve the investors and confidence so that they will support us or they will support our country to be in a sustainable and in green growth economy. So here, the governments can improve investor confidence in a way that they provide a predictability in how they deal with environmental issues. So by having this way, we can help the investors to how we can deal or help to solve the environmental issues, and by that way and by that way there will be lots of investors that will help our country to be in a good state and in a green growth and in sustainability situation. So that's all for my report. Thank you. Bye.
Good day, everyone. I am Ina Kagas, and for the continuation, I will talk about the potential for a green economy. So, first thing that we need to do is to define what is green economy. So, it is defined as low carbon resource efficient and socially inclusive. It targets green investments. It is a macroeconomic approach focused on investing in green economic activities, infrastructures, and skills. So, from the word itself, green, so basically this idea is focused on the concept of a nature-centric approach. So, according to Karl Burkhardt, the green economy is based on six sectors, and these are renewable energy, were often referred as a clean energy because it doesn't use a kanang toxic materials and like need pa ay kanang mag-produce pa sa pollution. Instead, it is a natural process or natural source that are constantly replenished. Example, renewable energy ana is kanang solar energy that comes from the rays of the sun, wind energy like katong windmill, geothermal energy that comes from the land, and hydropower energy where the source of energy comes from the water. So second sector is green buildings. So green buildings, dili literal nga ang mga color sa buildings is green ha, to have a green green focused or green efficient. So this green buildings is it is it is a proposal nga mag-produce or construct og kanang mga structures or buildings nga nag-use og ay nag-undergo og process that are environmentally responsible and resource efficient, where it can help to maintain and improve the
quality of life or the life of the environment kung asa man yung mga buildings nga located. So more like these buildings are dili na siya bitaw mag-need og more energy like through ang power is through power of electricity, like natural na bitaw siya nga building, like tukod ra siya, then eco-friendly siya nga building since dili na siya mag-use og more og resource of sources of energy since natural na bitaw siya, like for example kanang building nga transparent bitaw og windows, then manang naturally ra musud ang mga hangin, dili na ka mag-use pag need pag mga kanang kanang aircon nganha murag less na magamit ang energy bitaw through electricity kay natural na siya nga ang kinahanglan sa mga tao, like wa na pollution bitaw nga magkuan like that. Then the third is sustainable transport. So this sustainable transport is refers to low and zero emissions, energy efficient, affordable modes of transport. So this sector is kanang nagpropose ni siya og like kanang mode of transportation bitaw like kanang mga sakyanan nga kanang less nagpollution bitaw nga ibugangan ha, like efficient na siya, efficient at the same time sa kanang mga mataw nga musakay, and efficient pud siya at the same time sa environment. So the fourth one is the water management, where it is focus or it is planning, developing and managing water resources, kanang manage siya tarong bitaw, then the quality and quantity of water are kanang fairly distributed or like across all water sources, like kanang wa nay kuwang water, like fairly distributed lang siya, then ang quality sa water is kanang clean, then ang quantity is kanang dili bitaw ingon nga scarce. Then the fifth is waste management. So I know that you are familiar or like understandable na ni og unsa ni about ning waste management from the word itself, waste. So basically it focuses on the kanang disposal of waste and proper disposal of waste. So the last is the land management. So it is the process of managing the use and development of land resources, mapa-urban pa man na siya or mapa-rural areas. So in simple terms, green economy is defined as an economy system that is entirely focused on the concept of green. So just like what I said a while ago, that this green economy is basically focuses on the concept of green, where it proposed to use greener alternatives or greener technology to be more efficient, and at the same time is less resourceful. So next, so we'll tackle about the characteristics of green economy. So different international institutions have come up with various characteristics and nature of the green economy. So some of the general characteristics are: first, green economy facilitates sustainable development. It is resource and energy efficient. This economy creates decent work and green jobs. It respects planetary boundaries or ecological limits or scarcity. Fifth, it involves integrated decision making. Six, this economy measures progress beyond GDP using appropriate indicators or metrics. Eight, it protects biodiversity and ecosystems. 9. This economy delivers poverty reduction, well-being, livelihoods, social protection, and access to essential services. 10. It improves governance and the rule of law. It is inclusive, democratic, participatory, accountable, transparent, and stable. And lastly, the green economy internalizes externality. So the characteristics of green economy is basically focused on the aspects of social, economic, and environmental, where sa social aspects, where it focuses nga kanang maghatag og kanang kuan sa mga tao bitaw, like inclusivity, like fair and just ra bitaw ang treatment. Then at the same time sa economy is makaproduce ni siya og kanang decent work and green jobs where it doesn't need to be kanang nga mauwi bitaw siya sa like ang environment ang may maapektuhan or like ma-polluted ang environment. Then kung ano siya kanang this concept of green economy helps the social well-being of the people, their kanang their livelihoods, their security, it comes to food, the air that they breathe, like that. So next we'll move on to the components of green economy. So the first component of green economy is the green building. So this type of structures is usually built by following an eco-friendly approach. So when we say green buildings, the materials or the construction or buildings doesn't need to use kanang non-toxic materials that can harm the environment and at the same time makaharm sa kanang mga tao nga nagtrabaho ana nga kumpanya. So where there's a proper ventilation and can withstand every climate condition. So lagi kaning green buildings kanang gipropose po ni siyang appeal or like kanang gi-encourage nga maghimog mga ingani nga buildings the concept of green kay para less energy na ang magamit and instead natural na siya. So the second component is green finance, is a discursive term that adjoins different terms like investments, debts, loans, and bonds under a single umbrella. Green finance combines the word finance with the environment. So this component is all about investing in companies that promote sustainable practices. So like ang instead nga ang mga kanang investor mo invest siya sa kumpanya nga where kanang bitang nagamit o kanang resource of energy daghay magamit bitaw. So why instead nga mag-invest na lang sila sa kanang mga companies nga nag-promote o kanang sa sustainability bitaw, sustainability of natural resources, and at the same time kanang maka-promote po siya well-being sa mga tao. So the third component is social inclusivity. In precise terms, a socially inclusive society values all the citizens residing in it. So when we say inclusive, it means that it covers only to the people that is part of that certain community, or it is open to everyone that is part of that certain community. So where it promotes kanang harmonious relationships between the people, between their interaction in the community, where it regardless of their differences, different race, culture, customs and traditions, beliefs, clothing, the way they live, or the way they kang gidaan nila lang kaugalingon nga dili na magmatter. Instead kanang there is a fair and just treatment within that society. So the economic modeling done for the United Nations Environment Program, or the UNEP, investigates the macroeconomic impacts of investing 2% of global gross domestic product on an annual basis over the coming decades into business as usual and green economy scenarios. So under a green economy scenario, half of the investment is allocated to energy efficiency and the development of renewable energy sources. The remainder is devoted to improve waste management, public transport, infrastructure, and natural capital-based sectors such as agriculture, fisheries, forestry, and water supply. So, this concept of green economy or green economy scenario where kanang ang mga investment nga gikan sa kanang mga investors bitaw like sa kanang mga company, sa government like that, it is used to have a proper allocation of energy efficient and kanang development bitaw sa kanang mga renewable energy sources bitaw like gitagaan nilag pagtagad or kanang gihatagan nila giinvestan nila nga mga sources in order for kanang for us pod mga tao kanang to be more efficient bitaw lagi just like what I've said. Then ang sobra daw ana is kanang allocate na siya for proper waste management like kana bitong ni mga technology na karon or like kanang mga alternatives na nga gipanghimo para ma-improve ang or ma-manage ang mga waste, then kanang to enhance kanang transport infrastructure, kanang then kanang sa agriculture pod like kanang sa pag-improve sa ilang mga crops through paghatag og kanang mga natural na fertilizers, then mga seminars or kanang symposiums ba nga kanang maka tabang sa ilahon saan pag-improve sa ilahang livelihood like kaning forestry, fisheries, and kanang water supply. So this is the kanang approaches or like these are the kanang terms or like kanang gi-focus sa UN environment. So first is the policy mainstreaming where falls ana ang policy development where the approach is to support for the mainstreaming of green economy in all relevant policy areas and strategies at regional and national levels. Then second is ang technical assessments and knowledge products where development of appropriate tools including strategic environmental assessments, environmental and climate evaluation, social impact assessments, environmental, social, and green procurement standards. Then policy toolkits and guidelines, policy support for the development of green economy and low carbon development strategies and for their implementation of national or regional level. Then for the economic instruments where it falls the financing mechanisms, new business models where the approach is to support the development and promotion of green financial sector regulations and assistance for policymakers foster the incorporation of the financial sector in the transformation process towards green economies. Then the capacity buildings, the trainings and institutional strengthening, development of capacity buildings, initiatives and activities to address immediate green economy knowledge gaps, needs, and policy priorities, integration of long-term institutional knowledge and skills through policy dialogues, trainings, and application of toolkits with the aim of strengthening organizational commitment and capacities to drive green economy policy development, implementation, and compliance. So, this illustration or this approach are focused on kanang sa kanang mga policies kanang mga economic instruments and capacity building nga need i-work out in order nga maka-help siya to attain energy efficient and at the same time kuan kanang productivity sa society. So next, the Unit Towards a Green Economy report stresses that a green investment scenario delivers long-term growth over 2011 to 2050 while avoiding considerable downside risk. The returns on investments between 2019 and 2059 compared to business as usual could include the following. So, the concept of Unit Towards Green Economy, it stresses that the green investment scenario should deliver a long-term growth start from 2011 up to the 2050 where kanang mag-avoid siya mga kanang downside risk nga kanang hinder to attain growth. Um, so it is said that the returns of the investment between 2011 to 2029 compared to business as usual could include the following. So within the duration from 2011 and 2059, the return of investment should be higher than compared to the business nga kita sa business as usual. So the following are savings on capital and fuel cost in power generation of about $760 billion within a year. So mao ni dapat ag i-attain sa kanang from duration from 2011 2059 ang capital kono or the savings mabot na siya og 760 billion ay dollars a year. So the second is increased value added in the forest industry of more than 20% compared to business as usual, increased formal employment and increased carbon storage. So kintahay ang kanang value ra kintahay nga nasa forest ay gi-focus sa forest industry this 5% lang. So within that duration nga gikan sa 2011 up to 2059 dapat kanang nanay maad-an ha nga 20% or like kanang mutaas-taas na ang kanang gihatag anha nga kanang si tawag ni like kung sa pay pa na like iyahang bahin dapat ang forest industry sector is kanang nana siya kanang increase of percent value added. So next, reduce demand for water by about 1/5 from annual investments of 100 billion to 10 billion, increase water efficiency in industry and municipal sectors. Then transformation of agriculture from a major greenhouse gas emitter to GHG neutrality or a possible carbon sink while reducing deforestation and freshwater use by 55% and 35% respectively based on the adoption of sustainable farming methods. So instead daw of kanang ang matransform daw ang agriculture into a neutral or a possible carbon sink where kanang ma-reduce na ana ang kanang si tawagan greenhouse gases kay di ba ang agriculture karon since nagka-modern man ta is kanang nawa na ang kanang mga traditional nga tools nga gamiton sa mga farmers in order to enhance their crops. Instead nga nagamit na silang mga technology karon nga bisan pag kanang nakapag-improve siya kay like less na ang magamit nga energy sa mga tao kay mapadali pa ilang trabaho, pero ang balik pud ana is na siya disadvantage in which kanang makaproduce pud siya og kanang mga gas nga dili maka-benefit sa environment or dili maka-benefit at the same time sa atoa. So within that kanang according to the UNEP na dapat by katong duration sa 2011 to 2059 maka-adapt na og kanang mga sustainable farming methods nga dili na mag-need pa og kanang mga more energy pa mga gamit. So next, so UNEP's report concludes that key enabling conditions include establishing sound regulatory frameworks, prioritizing government investment and spending in areas that stimulate the greening of economic sectors, limiting spending in areas that deplete natural capital, employing taxes and market-based instruments to shift consumer preference and promote green investments and innovation, investing in capacity buildings and training and strengthening international governance. So within those katong mga gipang-ingon na ganiha katong na improvement dapat sa mga savings sa kanang forest industry, dapat ang mga ingat to according to the UNEP nga ang mga solutions daw or conditions nga maka-attain ta adto is kanang through these sound regulatory frameworks, then prioritizing government investments that stimulate the greening, where kanang ang tagaan daw pagtagad is katong mga economic sectors nga nag-promote og greener investments, then maglimit ng mga spend og kanang mga natural resources nga makakuhahan bitaw, maka-deplete, then kato to attain innovation. At the same time, there is still a kanang better quality of life with the people and the environment. So next, so now let's talk about the green growth in Philippines. So but before that, I just want to kanang insert bitaw nga kanang there are kanang partnerships or like mga institutions or organizations that ko ay kanang there's a cooperation bitaw like kanang to attain para mag-attain to nga ilahang goal kanang nay nagsanib pursa sila like that. Then now let's go to the green growth in Philippines. So the Philippines is seeing green. It has raised more than $3 billion in green bonds and a growing portfolio of green infrastructure investments. So in Southeast Asia, Philippines considers as a leader of green finance for these initiatives and for coming up with green equity investments, credit guarantees and guarantee funds, as well as specialty funds for green infrastructure and renewable energy, according to the report from the Climate Bonds Initiative. So it has more than 70 projects in low carbon transport, renewable energy, sustainable water, and sustainable waste management in the pipeline, with some already completed. It has been said that Philippines is one of the world's most climate vulnerable countries because of its high exposure to natural hazards, dependence on climate-sensitive natural resources, and vast coastline. According to the World Risk Report in 2019, the country ranks 9th most vulnerable to disaster and climate change-related risk among the 180 countries examined. So GGI supports the Republic of Philippines in its transition toward climate resilient and inclusive green growth. So it doesn't mean nga kanang kita as a country nga napa sa time of ay kanang developing country pa ta. It doesn't mean nga kanang wa po'y gihimo atong mga government o kanang mga initiatives nga makapromote og kanang social inclusivity, sustainability within its people sa ato ang natural resources, but kanang napana sila kanang mga projects nga gipanghimo nga need pa or kanang need pag kanang more investments para kanang ma-attain nga mga programs or like ma-attain nga mga investments. So GGI supports the Republic of Philippines in its transition toward climate resilient and inclusive green growth. So these are the strategic outcome targets that needs to be attained in order for kanang to have a kanang greener investments and greener accommodation within our government nga na. Then the first strategic outcome targets is the GHG emissions reduced. So 1,247,000 carbon dioxide reduced within that. So kani nga kanang gi-propose nga target is dapat ma-attain siya within 2021 to 2025. Then the second is creation of green jobs. 12,500 green jobs created in 2021. So within the 2021-2025, 12,500 green jobs pang nahimo. Then the strategic outcome number 3.1 is the clean and affordable energy, where 31,500 people benefited. Then the strategic outcome number 6 is to enhance an adaptation to climate change, for where 478,500 people benefited. So since 2011, GGGI has been partnering with the Climate Change Commission's National Economic and Development Authority, Department of Trade and Industry, and the provincial governments, mainly with Palawan, Oriental Mindoro, and Bataan. Ang kaning GGGI, daghan ni siya kanang mga organizations nga gipartneran in order to kanang makahelp bitaw to sa iyahang goal, which is their targets such as the Philippine Development Plan, then National Climate Change Action Plan, and nationally determined contributions to. So in 2017 to 2018, GGI's intervention focused on strengthening government's capacity on green growth planning while contributing to institutional coordination and widening spectrum, working with diverse stakeholder groups including private sector, which laid the groundwork for structuring bankable projects. JGGI helps CCC in strengthen their institutional capacity on operationalization of the People's Survival Fund, while interacting with other financing facilities such as Green Climate Fund and Adaptation Fund to improve local government units' access to financing for climate adaptation and mitigation projects. Finally, GGI has been partnering with the private sector by introducing green business practices through DTI Bureau of Micro, Small, and Medium Enterprises, whose key mandate is to foster development of competitive and green MSMEs, which account for 99% of all registered enterprises and provide 60% of total employment of the Philippine economy. So, this GGI in search of, or like kanang nakipag-partner siya og mga different organizations nga makahelp in order to attain and foster development of when there is a competition, then like pero through use of kanang green green adaptation and projects. So the report identifies more than 70 projects considered as green and potentially green. So some have already been completed. Projects were included on the list based on a specific set of criteria for screening green projects. So, di ba ganiha kay ang Philippines, even though we are still in a developing country, we also have our government propose projects that are helpful for our environment, for the to produce kanang like more social ay kanang enhance pang social being sa mga tao, security nga na. And some of those projects nga ilang gi-propose is kuana na complete na, then visible na karon sa ato, like kanang mga sa railways bitaw, like kanang mga bridges, infrastructures, like kanang gipaluagan na in order nga dili na makakuan og traffic congestion. Then naiubang kanang mga educational kanang kanang mga schools, educational institutions nga nanay mga improved technology to help nga kanang maka-learn ig mga students. Then other institutions nga nag-support or like kanang nag-do works nga maka-help sa society. So projects were included on the list based on a specific set of criteria for screening green projects. So the first is the transport sector has the biggest projects with a $12.9 billion north-south commuter railway project. So kaning a project is one of the kanang major projects gud nga gibuhat sa government sa Philippines is focus jud ang transport sector, since kanang like makita visible man sa ato karon nga like ang atong mga agianan is kanang piut lang, like prone siya mga accidents like that kay ang agianan or kanang may mga kanang sa tawag ni kanang mga vehicle bistaw is like kuwang og maintenance nganha. So the second is other big tickets projects include the $7.4 billion Metro Manila Bus Rapid Transit Line 1, the $3.1 billion Metro Rail Transit 4, the $1.5 billion MRT 11, and 1.1 billion dollars for West Rail project. So among the renewable energy projects, the $630.85 million in Leyte to Luzon Book geothermal power plant is the biggest. Then the $4.9 billion Clark water supply and sewerage project. Then the $320 million waste to energy facility project in Cebu. So based on the above mentioned achievements and organizational direction of structuring bankable projects, GGGI Philippines has identified areas of thematic focus addressed by the country program in 2019 to 2020. So after diba, some of the projects has been already completed and some of that is kanang ongoing pa siya. So according to the GGI Philippines, the GGI Philippines has identified areas of thematic focus addressed by the country program in 2019 to 2020. So first is the sustainable energy, where it expanded access to energy services through solar PV that can be transformational in remote rural areas and island barangays and other areas where the energy source is mainly diesel generated, has exorbitantly high rates, highly subsidized, and yet undersupplied with the potential of the spacing called the power mix. Then second is the sustainable landscapes. It is enhancement of climate change adaptive capacity of national, regional, and local governments, promotion of climate resilient and green agriculture value chain to increase local income and create jobs for the marginalized, and green cities for promotion of sustainable transport in islands, mainstreaming climate resilient green growth, and MSME is operation. So these interventions are designed to achieve strategic outcomes of GHGs reduction, green jobs creation, increase access to services, and increase adaptive capacity. And on top of that, given geographical uniqueness composed of 7,000 plus islands, GGGI will facilitate knowledge sharing with an aim of replicating best practices with other LGUs and even GGGI country programs operating in the similar context. So I think that's all for my part, and I want to have a short kanang conclusion lang about sa akong report. So even though ang atong country is still developing, the government are proposing projects that are helpful and kuan siya kanang efficient and less resourceful na siya ang magamit anha in order to attain kanang green technology or green concept within the society or the community, since kanang ang ubang mga developed na nga countries is naka-attain na sila anha nga concept, then kita pod nga atong country is ongoing pa siya na process, and through the help of kanang different organizations, step by step na uban adtungan na kumpleto na na-attain na nato, and uban pa is still on process. So we can conclude that even though our country is still developing, our country has a potential to attain green economy. So with that, dili ra pud ang government ang dapat maglihok anha. We also people need to join to participate in all organizations that are helpful nga maka-attain ani nga concept. Then in our small ways pod kita magkahimo pud tag ka ng mga ways nga pwede nga makatabang sa atong environment, and at the same time kanang we can integrate it in our daily lives. So that's all. So I will give the stage for the next reporter.
Once again, good day everyone, and I just want to apologize because I might cough throughout the discussion because I have cough and currently I have fever, but still I'm trying my best to share informations about my topic, and me also I am very excited to share informations that I got. Okay, first topic relation to the rebound effect. So first, energy efficiency. As stated in the first reporter, according to her, that energy efficiency increases should contribute to the reduction of energy consumption. And the reductions in consumption that would correspond to these efficiency increases can be calculated for energy efficiency measure provided consumer behavior does not change. Studies show, however, that despite improvements in efficiency, energy consumption often does not fall as much as expected, and rebound effects occur. So this emphasizing that di lahat ng bagay ay makakamit natin, or not all things that we do or exerted effort will come into place. And just like in relation to this, in relation to energy, still there is the rebound effect that that hinders it all. Even if you contributed a lot, especially or specifically in our environment, still there's a hint of hindrances or small hindrances that hinders everything. The next paragraph next paragraph, according to Jevon's paradox, underlying the rebound effect is that due to secondary effects, improvements in resource efficiency provide smaller reductions in the consumption of energy or materials that are expected, or even an overall net increase in resource use. The rebound effect has been seen at many levels of society, from the individual to the nation to across a nation. And this is how this is how the rebound effect works. Even a small reduction or the small energy efficiency can really cause rebound effect. And later on, I'll give some of the examples and related topics that make you really understand the concept of rebound effect. Next slide. So the rebound effects occurs within socio-technical systems as transport, energy supply and demand, and industry. Am I right? That this rebound effect can be seen or very evident in the transport aspects and energy supply and demand in the industry. It's mostly in the businesses, and it has been observed in the supply and consumption of numerous types of GNS. The size and characteristics of the rebound effect change with different temporal and spatial boundaries. So Sorrell 2009 finds that over the lifetime of technologies, the rebound effect in energy efficiency is more likely to occur during the innovation and early adopter stages with the vast diffusion curve. So, in the modern times, in a technological era, the rebound effects mostly occur. In what way? The rebound effect is generally higher in industrializing or developing nations than in a mature economies because of high growth rate, more intensive use of energy, high energy costs, and being in the earlier stage of the diffusion curve for key energy using services, as seen in China's high rates of rebound effect in energy use. So what did you understand, man? That rebound effects, like I said, mostly occur in a technological era or in the places where technology is very evident or can be seen. So what area or type of place? That is mostly in the developing nations or developing countries. And why man nga dili sa mga developed countries? Because high growth naman sila. They're more improved, they're more advanced compared to the developing countries that still or aside from they're experiencing social and environmental problems. They're also experiencing in the economical aspects or economic aspects. So that's it. The next is so yes, start with this. There are two types of rebound effects, and I hope you don't maglibog mo unsa the definition aning duha, because there are widely different, although there's some connections, but still lahi dyan sila. So first is direct rebound effects occur when energy efficiency gains result in higher demand in the same area. So if we connect it to the law of demand or the concept of demand, once gali nga ang isa ka product daghan og demand or gamay ra ang presyo, daghan ang mamalita na in demand na siya. Especially for example rice. Hingbrato siya, of course, daghang mamalit. And we can connect it also to the concept of direct rebound effects. So for example, after insulating your house, what do you mean by insulating? So it's maintaining the heat and the coldness of an area or your house. You adjust the heating so that the average temperature in the house is higher than before renovation. So based on my own example also, just like in a situation like this, himpalit ka og kanang himpalit ka og energy saving bulb. You know what's energy saving bulb? Isa siya nga bombilya na kusog mo save og energy. So you did it to save energy. Himpalit ka ana para makasave og energy. Then and one more thing, hinggamit sad ka og or imong dili nimo ipang unplug. So let's say for example in my own situation that I constructed an example. Just like if you bought an energy saving bulb. You know what's energy saving bulb? It's a kind of bulb that really save energy, and makatabang na siya for energy efficiency. Yes, makatabang na siya for energy saving efficiency. Diba kaya nakasave makag energy, nakasave pa kag kwarta sa ibayad, nakasave sad ka og electricity. But ikaw, just because of this situation, dili na ka mag-unplug og mga suga, you buy other cell phones also or economical laptops para sa imong businesses. And do you think it's right? No. And this is the rebound effect. Supposed to be, you are saving energy through the energy saving bulb, but you tend to not unplug na mga suga or consume other energies. Still, instead of makatigom kag energy, mas himpadaghanon kag energy og samot, and that is rebound effect. Then proceed to I hope you understand the example of the direct rebound effect. And next is the indirect rebound effects. So occur when efficiency gains in one area lead to higher resource consumption in other areas. So for example, a lower heating bill after building insulation can create financial leeway for new and more energy-intensive lighting in the house or for long-distance travel. So indirect rebound effects can also occur if I install more energy-intensive lighting after insulating my building because I think I've already done enough to protect the environment. So this is the example of the concept. But to make you really understand the example, I created or constructed also my own example, and that is I sold a car or I sold my car. I sold my car. Sorry, I sold my car, and I just have the public transport or just use or utilize my bicycle. Good thing because I save energy. But then again, the summer is fast approaching, and I decided na katong kwarta na nahali na sa pagbalik sa akong sakinan is ahong ipliti padong sa Thailand for a vacation. So what do you call this, man? It is now the rebound effect. Indirect rebound effect na supposed to be makasave kag energy, makasave sa kag money into selling your car, but you use the money to travel into the other country. Sir, may part adto sa pag-travel ang pag-consume og energy atog dako. The fuel use in the airplane, man, di ba? Use airplane, the fuel nga gigamit ana is highly resource consumption of energy. Gasto pa sa kwarta, gasto pa ka sa energy. So again, when we say direct is makita na Dargo ang direct energy consumption towards the rebound effect. So sa example sa direct is kadtong energy saving bulb, palit ka ana, but tend to not unplug the other gadgets or tend to buy other gadgets. And indirect is kanang selling cars and using that money to travel to other country, which is a high source consumption. Next is the reasons for rebound effects. So there are different explanations for rebound effects, and that is the monetary reasons are often suggested. When consumers save electricity, their expenses are reduced and money is saved. Is it true? Yes. Once ka mag-save ng electricity, gamay ra kag mabayaran and makatigom sad kag electricity. With this, kanang imong kwarta na tigom, you are using that to utilize other products or things that consumes energy, and that is a direct rebound effect. And when it comes to the indirect rebound effects, can occur from income effects, income rise, or more goods can be demanded. And next is, however, not all rebound effects can be explained purely in monetary terms. In addition to economic factors, rebound effects are also explained by psychological and other factors. Really? Yes. For example, additional consumption can be explained by clear constant effect or so-called moral licensing. So, when we say moral licensing for the information of everyone, it is something that you're doing good. That's giving you the right to do bad. Nakabuhat kag maayo, so hunahuna nimo na dapat or justifiable na ka nga moguhat og dili maayo. So example, if a household switches to environmentally friendly electricity and thus significantly improves its CO2 balance, this can under circumstances mean that inhabitants no longer consider it as necessary as before to save electricity or to pay attention to environmental protection in other areas. So if quick ko no save kag electricity. So justifiable na dili naka mangilabot sa other aspects na, like pag protect sa environment or sa mga things nga related sa environment or saving energy. Kay naman ka, you are environmentally friendly electricity naman. Sige na mag-save of energy. So dili na ka mangilabot pa sa uban. Or another example is kanang situation bitaw sa if i-compare it socially. 'Di ba? So for example nga nang gahatag ka o regalo sa imong amigo. So you think na dapat tagaan sa ganiya, 'di ba? Kay hatag man ka or kanang gapakopya ka sa imong classmate. So justifiable na kanang classmate ha mo pakipopya sad nimo pohon or kanang sige na makag-exercise. So justifiable na sige na kagkaon og daghang mga unhealthy foods. Muna siya. Then, or there may be spillover effects. When you say spillover effects, the experience that something can be achieved through your own environmental behavior that motivates you to become more environmentally friendly in other areas as well. So, if you have the mindset na bitaw nga nakatabang nakintahig ka o pananaw mag-iinan ka bibliota naman ka na you are saving the environment. So I think at some point it motivates you to do other things so that you can receive compliments or makatabang ka sa environment. So that's the spillover effects. So a further reason for rebound effects can be a lack of knowledge dealing with energy efficient devices or technologies so that the efficiency potentials are not fully exploited. This can occur, for example, when underfloor heating systems are used instead of radiators. So you mostly sad manong occur kaning rebound effects because wala kayo na educate ang mga tao or ignorance or somewhat ignorant bitaw sila sa concept ani na they think na sakto na siya but dili. So the 3 policy strategies, so their strategies good to mitigate the rebound effects can be distinguished are the economic wide increases environmental efficiency. So if we increase these environmental efficiencies, then we can highly mitigate or eradicate this rebound effect. Then shifts the greener consumption patterns, which is good. Go to the green consumption and everything will go to the right place. And the downsizing consumption, we know to downsize the consumption of energy. And so as you can see, this is the correct representation of the direct and indirect rebound effect. So this is the entire process. So as you can see, na-track, diba? So asa lang mapadong sa more energy. Sorry. So kanang ubos sa lower running costs to driving further and more often in emptier cars, to purchase larger, more powerful cars to more energy, and that is the direct rebound effects. Kaya na lower running costs. If you know nga gamay ra imong magasto sa imong sakyanan, then maunsa naman. If for example gamay ra ang gasolina, bayad na sa gasolina, kayong ubos na as is nga ang country na to develop na kaayo. So sige na kagpadagan og pimente, sige na kagpagusog, and do you think makasave og energy? Dili. And you are purchasing more powerful and larger cars just because gamay na kagmabayran, and still a rebound effects kadili gyapon ka makasave og energy but to increase the consumption of energy. And kanang sa babaw, as you can see, the lower fuel bills, the holiday in Spain, the airplane, the more energy. This is the indirect effect or the indirect rebound effect. Like I said a while ago, if gamay ra imong bills nga mabayaran or you're selling your car renta, then kanang kwarta nga nimong nahalinan igasto nimo sa pangpiti pa dong sa laing country, which is a higher level consumption, which is still part of the rebound effect. So I think that's all, and I hope you understand something. And now let's proceed to the application. So I hope you understand our lesson so that you can really answer these following questions. So first, are you in favor of the idea of a green economy? support your answers. Second, based on your own understanding, how can efficiency and innovation significantly impact the economic, environmental, and social spheres, especially in terms of achieving sustainable development? And number three, what do you think is or are the reasons why the Philippines still seems to be perennially stuck in the middle income trap, facing some of the worst poverty and inequality in the region, even though it ranked with the Global Innovation Index or GII as the fifth most innovative economy in 2020? And number four, how might the transition to a green economy occur? What are the key elements of the social, economic, cultural, political, institutional, ecological, environmental context for this transition to be brought about? Explain your own words and lastly, give one example of direct and indirect rebound effect and limit your explanation to 3 sentences only. And lastly is, in a group activity, you're going to integrate the importance of efficiency and innovation, the green growth and the rebound to attain the sustainable development through a brief role play and role play performance. You will be given 15 minutes to because your role play, and the duration of the role play will be 3 to 5 minutes. So, so here are the rubrics. Assessment. Assignment: do an advanced study of Module 6, Ecological Justice, Security, and Ethics. And I hope you learned something about the efficiency, innovation, the green growth, and the rebound. And I hope you may apply it in your daily lives. And once again, this is the Group 5. Thank you.